This video was recorded for our guest recruiters who will be attending our career fairs this spring and throughout the summer. In advance, thank you for watching this video. We know that you're busy with school and home, and we're deeply grateful for your time and efforts in helping us meet our 2020 recruitment goal of 400 to 500 teachers by the first day of school. The goal of new teachers is the average that we need to fill every summer. This video will assist you in better understanding your roles and responsibilities as one of our very valuable guest recruiters. We're excited about starting this process earlier than usual so that we can meet this goal. We'll quickly cover the before, during, and after the event processes and duties. And we can't stress enough the importance of the after the event processes so that we can continue to cultivate the relationships with the great candidates that you've seen on the road. Before you go, this photo is from a very recent recruitment trip and shows what your recruitment table should look like. Your HR rep could be our Chief HR Officer, Jevelyn Bonner-Reed, our Staffing Supervisor, Amy Wilson, our Director of Professional Development and Recruitment, Sydney Conger, or some combination of them. They'll be on most of the trips. We'll need you to assist in setting up the tables. EC, as well as Aspire 340, will also be providing additional materials. Before you go, we'd like to make certain that we have all of our paperwork in order as well as the event information. Usually HR's Amy Wilson will be sending you an email with all of the event details. She'll normally send this about 5 days before the event. As for travel, you'll usually travel in a district vehicle with an HR representative. Meals are normally included in the event registration. Should there be a need to submit expenses for such an overnight travel, Amy Wilson will be happy to work with you to get the expense paperwork in and quickly get you compensated. We really want you to generate interest at these career fairs. And although the universities will certainly be marketing the event on their own, it's incredibly valuable when it's your alma mater and you reach out to professors, student groups, perhaps to be given the opportunity to speak in a class or just meet up with students at a school club or organization. Our goal is to generate as much interest as possible in Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools. So please take advantage of these opportunities when it is your alma mater. And if you're social media savvy, we really would like for you to take advantage of the power of social media. More about this in 2 more slides. Apologies for this very busy slide, but we'd like for you to see what an alma mater email might look like. This is just an example where we've highlighted in red some of the key elements that you might choose to include in such an email. We're hoping that this will help you to be given the opportunity to speak in a class or a club. We want you to tweet that we're coming and using the hashtag WSFCS HR. We'd also love for you to retweet Amy Wilson's postings that'll be made each time we have an event. And with your own social media network by sharing with Facebook and LinkedIn, as well as liking on Instagram. Because social media does work. During the fair, it's important that we have a uniform consisting of business casual for marketing. Key takeaways here is collared shirts, but no t-shirts please, and black dress pants or skirts, and comfortable shoes, and please no gym shoes. We're hoping to acquire some Winston-Salem Forsyth County School logoed shirts for us to wear, but more about that in the future. First impressions really matter, so please warmly greet the candidates, shaking their hand and especially asking for their resume. Because some students may have spring break coinciding with our April 4th career fair, please make certain that each candidate is aware of when and where the career fair is taking place. In quickly reviewing their resume, often in 30 seconds or less, please circle their GPA, their praxis information, their major, and their student teaching highlights, especially if they did their student teaching in our schools. Remember that the important info is usually going to be near the top of the resume. And also, please ask the candidate about themselves because it's our opportunity to set the impression that we care about them and what they have to say. Possible opening questions from you to them might be, "Tell me about yourself," or "I'd love to learn more about you." "Tell me what brought you to our table." And note, by the way, some might know our district and may simply be kind of curious. Another interesting and good question is, are you interested in Title I schools? And note, we'll be communicating with everyone later exactly how to define a Title I school so that we have a thoughtful and consistent description and which expresses the opportunities and the rewards that might offer a teacher. Finally, we'd like you to take some notes right on the upper right corner of the resume. We'd like for you to indicate what they're interested in to be it teaching, clerical. And although our focus is going to be on finding strong teaching candidates, you never know when you're going to find a great financial or HR candidate. And bluebirds can fly in the window. It's our opportunity to take advantage of their presence. And for our suggested rating system, this next slide talks about that. Marking and rating the resumes before you turn them into HR is extremely helpful for our HR team. It assists us in acting accurately and very quickly because timing is crucial in landing qualified candidates. If you find a rock star, put a star in the upper right corner so that we keep it at the top of our resume stack. And then we have 4 different ratings from highest to lowest. HP standing for high priority, and this is where someone is teaching in a critical needs area. They've got a desire to work in a Title I or a high needs school. Perhaps they have ties to the local area which indicate a greater interest in actually teaching in our school district. Or they're either scheduled their praxis or they've already passed it. And of course, what important internal question for you is, would you want this teacher to teach my children? Or is this person perhaps containing the potential to become a rock star teacher? That's a high priority, all of those. In regards of potential priority, PP, a candidate who is definitely of quality but not necessarily in our critical needs area. And that would include an elective teacher or if they're eligible for residency licensed teacher with a praxis or a major in critical needs area. Someone who is low priority, the code LP, if licensed, maybe teaches in a critical needs area and has 3+ years of teaching experience, but they're not really the best candidate, but they could still qualify for a rating of LP. No priority, NP. It's not unusual that you'll come across a few candidates that the district simply would not be interested in engaging, and it's these that you'll give that rating of NP. Watch the inventory levels during the fair because some attendees will simply be picking up materials and they're not really interested. They're just kind of farming and picking up things just to be picking them up. When you engage the attendee as they walk up, that startup of a conversation alone can sometimes prevent those disinterested ones from grazing on the collateral. You know that Winston-Salem is a great place to live and, of course, to teach, so please share your personal stories and history about it. Especially highlight what differentiates Winston-Salem Forsyth County schools from our neighboring school districts. such as our facilities are well maintained, some of which are new buildings. There's career opportunity with our Principal Pipeline Leadership Development Program. You can receive your admin license for free at the High Point University Leadership Academy, which is a very highly competitive program. In addition, our Inspire 340 schools, which are priority or focus schools who receive additional federal funding, as well as support from private donors for supplies, materials, and staff incentives. It's a commitment to Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools to address critical student achievement gaps and improve third grade reading and math proficiency scores over time. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools is unique in that we have schools in urban communities and in a college town, as well as in rural areas. We also have accessibility to leadership, as well as special programs, trainings, culture, offers, and other pluses. It's vital that you stay for the entire fair. This shows our district's commitment to wanting to recruit candidates, and it also ensures we don't miss some potential great candidates who may come in toward the end of the event. After the event, resumes. What we'll be doing is we ask you to put your HR starred resumes in the top of your stack of collected resumes, and we'd like for you to do one of the following three things. Either hand them over to the HR representative who was at the event with you, or hand deliver rather to Amy Wilson in HR, or send by way of an inter-office mail, but as soon as possible. Time really matters in getting back to our candidates. As for the recruiting crate, please pack it up and return it also to Amy Wilson in HR the very next morning if possible. If she's not in her office, feel free to leave it in her office. We need to get that back quickly because you see, there's a short turnaround time for repacking and having it ready for the next event during our busiest months of the recruiting season. And Amy will email you a brief Google survey the next day asking your input about your experience. Please take the time to fill it out thoughtfully so we can make decisions regarding attending in the future. If you have any questions at all, please call or text Amy Wilson on her mobile at 336-529-2171 or her email akwilson. And after the event, here is what HR will then do. All of the resumes will be scanned and stored as PDF files in a shared Google folder organized by certification area. HR will also create a Google Sheets files, and it's going to contain each candidate's name, email address, phone number, their mobile phone, their license area, their ratings, which event, and an actual link to the PDF file of their resume, which will be stored on the shared Google Drive folder. Principals will also receive a Google Docs file with a list of high priority and potential priority candidates. These Google folders are shared with department leaders and principals so that they can see the resumes per fair. And the principals and the department leaders will be encouraged to focus on the candidates with those ratings of high priority and potential priority. Remember also that if a candidate in the Google Docs file is contacted, that candidate must complete the teacher match application. Without this, HR cannot complete the hiring process. And note, there'll also be some early contracts offered after the allotments and the vacancies are confirmed. Now, if you're a principal or a hiring manager, then it's your job to do the following, please. Review the Google Docs file for those high priority and potentially possible candidates, and review the information in Teacher Match for the candidates as well to make certain that they've completed all that was required for the Teacher Match application process. You may then contact them for an interview, but remember, they must have completed the teacher match profile. Then complete the reference check and then recommend them for employment to HR. Thank you for taking time to watch this video and for helping us find great candidates.